Well, hello there, and thank you for joining me in this video. This video, today I really had an impulse to talk about forgiveness because we have the holiday seasons here, and it's something that I think that would be a great gift, not only to give to others but also to give to ourselves. And what I mean by this is really understanding what forgiveness is, because forgiveness does truly have a hidden meaning behind it. And the hidden meaning behind it is this: when we hold things against others, or when we judge, or when we take on things that aren't ours, these actually can create false beliefs within us. If we're taking on other people's um, ideas, views, and opinions of us, or if we're judging other people as well. So really, I think it's really important to understand what forgiveness is. So forgiveness, it's not about accepting what another person did and letting it go. That's what many think that that's what forgiveness is all about. But it's really not. Forgiveness is truly that hidden meaning behind it. It's about personal growth through our self-awareness. And this is done by when we determine what's right and what's wrong from us. What's right, what's true, what's correct. What do we really believe from an internal perspective on from a balanced approach within ourselves. And what I mean by balanced approach, I mean, mentally, physically, emotionally, if we're at a place of balance and we're really observing a situation, or, just looking at what's occurring outside of us, and we can have that balance within ourselves. This allows us to have to gain the information that we want about ourselves. What do we like about the situation? What don't we, what do we agree with and what do we not agree with? But when we think about what do we not agree with or agree with, we have to truly ask ourselves why. Why? What makes us feel this way? And when we ask ourselves these questions from a place of balance, it really then solidifies who we are. And that's when personal growth occurs. A lot of people say for a long time, forgiveness isn't about the other person. Forgiveness isn't about the other person. Well, yeah, it is. It is about the other person in a sense. It's about when we hold on to, let's say, forgiveness. Let's say we're through the healing process. For me personally, when I held on to anger or resentment or frustration and a lack of understanding of why would they do that to me? Why would an ex-spouse, do whatever, out of anger and frustration? And it's not really understanding why they did it. It's more within yourself to understand how it affected you and what can you take from this to become a better person. You can gain empathy, you can gain an understanding about, what was your contribution to the situation, and how then can you make those changes within yourself. Because when we know who we are and we understand why we do the things that we do, then we can take those outer circumstances that happen with people, whatever it is, and we can either grow through more wisdom and awareness, or we can solidify what we already know. But it all takes place on the inside. And the only way truly to forgive and to move forward in life, or truly to move forward and to grow like we are supposed to, it allows, we have to have that forgiveness. We have to have that understanding of these relationships, of these interactions, because when we don't, it creates those false beliefs. It blocks us from our inner selves, our inner knowing of our personal truth and building upon ourselves. You know, one of the things that I think is really key, the point that I really wanted to make with this is really we have to understand why we're here, right? Why are we here? We are here in this lifetime to grow our souls. The circumstances that we are given sometimes are really great, and sometimes from an external perspective, they look even grim. But it's when we take those really tough situations and we grow from them and we learn about ourselves, about our abilities, then we can look at those situations and forgive whatever happened, because we gained something on the inside of us. We grew our soul. We are a bigger, better individual. And when we look at people that wrong us, that treat us poorly, that have no reason at all other than the insecurities that's going on within themselves, that gives us an opportunity to learn that. People don't hurt people, or people don't guide people, or they don't mislead people unless there's something going on within them. Same with us. We would not mislead somebody. We would not do certain things unless inside there's an insecurity or something that doesn't allow us to live our personal truth. And those are things that we need to heal. So something needs to change, right? But that doesn't mean looking backwards. It doesn't mean digging at the past to figure out, what created it. Because it could have, it started out as a little seed of something, and then other situations nourished it, and it grew into something that we really didn't want, like a big weed in your yard, right? There's this huge, great big weed in your yard, and you have to get rid of it. But all those instances that watered it, that fed it, that big weed, they're all because that seed was planted. But when we look at it and we just say, this is where I am right now, there's a big weed in my backyard. I'm not going to pull up and remember the days that it rained and how it was fertilized. That part doesn't matter. Here you are today. There's a big weed in your backyard. Go dig it up. Go dig it up. And the way you dig it up from within yourself is by really looking inside yourself and saying, where's this coming from? Where is this behavior of mine that I don't really like? There's something inside me I really don't like. And so I'm going to really forgive myself. And I'm going to make these changes so that I don't experience it again. Because that, when you change your behaviors, when you improve yourself, when you forgive yourself, and you, from the inside, from when you determine who and what you are from the inside, all the rest of it fades away. And forgiveness for the other people in numerous past situations, it falls away because you have a better understanding. That's like when we take responsibility for who we are and we have to apologize for things that we've done wrong. The same thing goes with forgiveness. It's forgiving yourself for you didn't know better. And when we really start to look at these relationships, I'm going to talk more about this in a future video, probably next week. But really understanding when we come in to our lifetime, we are here on a life journey, right? We're on our soul is on a mission that it must complete during our life, during our lifetime, during our life journey. And we bring with us whatever it is that we're supposed to accomplish. And usually there's some pretty challenging situations. But that's the change that we're here to make. And that's where a lot of this forgiveness comes into play, because we need to forgive from these situations that cause us inner turmoil, that causes chaos, it causes us pain, that even if it causes us joy, just understanding what these interactions do for us and to us, and make that change within us by learning from those experiences, learning from those individuals, and having empathy, right? So here's a perfect example. If somebody hurts you, misleads you, or misguides you because of their own insecurity, but it really hurt you because you were giving this 100%. Say you're in a relationship, or let's use relationships for the example. If you're, whether it's marriage, whether it's partnership, whatever it is, if your partner misleads you, misguides you, or treats you poorly, in order to really truly forgive that person, you have to learn about yourself. And then you have to you have to really understand, who am I and what is this all about? How can I take from this situation and grow as an individual? And that really means that it doesn't matter their excuses. It matters on what's going on inside of you, or their reasoning, or whatever. It matters what's going on inside of you. Do you need to put up better boundaries? Do you need to perhaps really truly evaluate the relationship? Do you need to express yourself, or do you need to hold yourself accountable and say, there's some things here that I'm doing too much, or I'm not doing enough, and make those changes and those shifts? And then sometimes we get in these situations where we have to really choose, is this situation or this relationship adding value to me? Is it contributing to my life in a positive way? And if things are not contributing to your life in a positive way, and you've done all that you think you can to express your needs, your feelings, your desires, and to put yourself, present yourself to the best of your ability, to just be your authentic self, and it just didn't, it's taken advantage of, or it's not even appreciated, or whatever it is, if the relationship is not serving you, forgiveness still needs to happen. But it means that you have a choice now. Will you continue with this relationship or not? That's where second chances come in. So we build these boundaries, or we decide that you make those changes within yourself, so that you can proceed or go forward in these relationships. But also, My phone's going off. You have to decide, is this something that's going to be good for me? Do I stay or do I go? Right? We ask ourselves, do I stay or do I go? And truly, if you have shared morals, shared values, shared foundations within your life, if there are things that are truly significant um, in your life, if you share values, and if it was just maybe their insecurity or your insecurity, or maybe the changes that you're going to make are going to make those adjustments in your own personal life to balance out the relationship, right? To balance it out so that the give and the take is equal, and that there's respectful treatment and behaviors there. Um, and your values and your morals and the things that you have common interests in, and you're growing through the relationship. But this is just perhaps maybe it was a disagreement or a misunderstanding. There are many different reasons that cause um, or give opportunities for this forgiveness. But the whole key is with it that we have to make certain that in this forgiveness, that it's truly can only occur by through our own personal growth. It has to add value to us. We have to learn something from the situation that betters us, not makes us bitter, but makes us better people. And then we can be compassionate, perhaps, for the other person because they were in a situation where maybe they didn't feel like they could be honest. Maybe they, for whatever their reasons are, sometimes you have to ask yourself, well, what would make me do that? What would I be feeling inside if I were in that situation? Sometimes it can even take that, but it's not necessary. What truly is important is holding yourself accountable for what you know about you and what you need to grow within you, and leaving the rest of it behind for the other person to work out. Whether they do or they don't. The whole point is that your only job is to grow your soul. And it's through the interactions with other people that this occurs. I hope this helps you. I know that I'm going to be talking more about this as time goes on, but I just want to really start having people think about, the interactions with other people, and how can I grow from this in a non-judgmental way. It's truly not judging anything, but observing, and from an internal perspective to really gain a greater understanding of who we are within ourselves, right? That's what this is all about. When we come into this world, those interactions with others, we have to find a place of harmony, of closure, of personal growth. Something we have to take something from it that makes us better, not bitter, because the bitterness is what we're trying to avoid in our journey, because the bitterness will hold us. We're all energy, right? You can look at it that way. We're all energy, and if we don't learn how to forgive this stuff, we're going to be attached to this negativity until we learn how to heal it. And I don't know about you, but if I don't want to keep coming back and doing this stuff all over again. I don't. And it doesn't mean we have to go back and correct stuff. It just means we can start right here, right now, wherever we are. Because as we move forward, we're going to learn. And this is all about learning. This is Earth School. We're here like college students, right? We're just here to learn. We're here to learn about ourselves. We're here to learn about each other. And we know who we are on the inside of us because we're all so uniquely individuals. We cannot use the outer world to determine who we are. And most often it's the case. But the outer world does not dictate who we are. We have this core inner being that we're here to grow, and that's your soul. And in order for this to happen, you cannot bring baggage. You can't carry baggage. There's no room on your flight to home, on your flight to heaven. There's no room for baggage. You don't get to take baggage with you on your flight back to heaven. You don't get to take that. And if you do, it's just a heavy burden. It's a heavy burden. When you could make life really, really beautiful and really fun and really worth living when you live on the inside. And here's something that's really, really profound. When you do live and you make these choices from that inner knowing, that core of you, that's not just you making those choices. That's the human part of you experiencing this. What's best for you will come from your internal guidance, which is the divine essence of you. And it's that divine essence, that love, that nurturing, that pure aspect of you that helps your soul grow while you are here. But we can't hear or listen or be guided by this, our holy divine, unless we can hear them. And when we can't hear them, it's because there's those false beliefs that we're holding about ourselves and about others. It's not just about us, it's also about others. You can't hold false beliefs about yourself or criticize others and get out scot-free and go home. We can't do that. We can't, that's not possible. We have to truly treat others. That's why it said treat others like you want to be treated. Learn from it. If you want somebody to forgive you, forgive them. There's nothing here greater or less important. There's not one sin greater than the other, or there's not one negative behavior that's more severe than the other. A wrong is a wrong, and a right is a right. And that's where it comes down to. And does it mean that we have to be perfect? No. No. It means we're human. It means we're here to learn and to grow, and we're going to, give forgiveness, because none of us are perfect. Maybe somebody made a bad choice. Maybe, by understanding where they were, but understanding you have those shared core values allows for forgiveness, because you now are aware of this happening, and you've decided this isn't for you. And they've decided that's not for them to treat you that way. So no longer will you put up with it, and they'll no longer do it to you, and both of you win. I really hope this is making a lot of sense, because over time it's going to get more clear and more clear. This is one of the steps to healing. Forgiveness and really understanding who you are the first two steps to our healing and our personal growth, and allowing for us to be divinely guided. And without our divine guidance, without connecting and utilizing our divine guidance, we are not able to meet. And living from inside, we are not able to meet and to accomplish our soul's mission. And we will just keep spinning on a hamster wheel. We'll just keep spinning and spinning until we get it, until we understand. There's an aspect of divinity that was created just for us while we're here, letting us know we're never alone. We are never alone. And it's until we understand that this guidance is here for us, and actually it's essential to us in order for us to complete our mission, our soul's mission during this lifetime. We have to have that connection. We have to have it. Without it, we won't live. We won't be able to grow our soul. We won't be able to accomplish the things that we are truly here to accomplish. And I think this all circles back to really determining what is it that you want to accomplish in your lifetime. Why are you here? Because we have free will. We all have free will, right? But it's what we do with our time here. What is it that we want to accomplish? You know, sometimes we can be hurt and we can be confused and we don't understand. And there's not one thing wrong with taking those emotions, those painful emotions, and spend some good quality time with yourself to process through them and heal that pain. Like I'm talking about, the forgiveness and really understanding what's yours and what's not yours. Because if we don't take this time to do that, we're going to feel bitter, we're going to feel angry, and we are going to project that out into the world. And this, my friends, is why things hinder humanity's growth. This is part of why humanity on a soulful, eternal level isn't growing. This is what's causing this separation in the world, because it's just time. It's just time. It's time for humanity to, it's God's taking his people back. God's just saying, you can't people can't continue stepping on and treating people acting genuinely from a heart-centered place and having others take advantage of it and mistreating them and not being authentic. In order for us humanity to survive, and humanity will survive. Just depends on what size of a portion of humanity, which side of this time will you be on. That's up to each individual to decide. Where is it that, and we do that by saying, what do we want our life to be about? What is it that we want to accomplish? What do we want to dedicate this time to? Am I going to dedicate this time to being and discovering my true authentic self to grow my soul? Not giving a shit what happens and what other people think and say and do. The interactions with other people, they're just to help us determine who we are. Not dictate, but give us opportunities to make choices that best meet what we want to create with our lives from the inside of us. And we can't function from that inside if we have layers of false belief. I'm telling you, one of the greatest gifts that I ever have been given in my entire lifetime was when God hit the reset button on my life. And he sent me back to being 5 years old, mentally and emotionally. Although it was, the worst situation, it's sometimes in those situations that we can find the most blessings and starting over again. And God does this for people that he knows can handle it. So if you've been in a situation where you're just, God hit your reset button somewhere, or you're struggling to overcome something, just remember to take a non-judgmental approach, one step at a time. Because forgiveness is a major aspect and a major step in the healing process, in the growth of your soul. Living from your true authentic self from the inside. And once you find that harmony, that harmony, and you get rid of all those false beliefs, do they kind of come up and remind you? Yeah. But that's okay. That's okay. That's kind of like divine's way of ensuring. You sure this is what you want? You sure this is what you want? They'll ask you that in relationships. Is this sure what you want? Be certain what you want. Be certain of what you ask for. Be certain of what you ask for. Because your life experiences are what create you from the choices and decisions that you make from them, right? From them. But that inner core knowing, the intuition, the thoughts we have, just random, the epiphanies, right? Those are all our guidance. And when you clear away all those false beliefs and you do this forgiveness and you start living from this place within yourself, from purity in the heart, my friends, a door, a gate, whatever you want to call it, to heaven opens up to you. And that divine guidance will pour into you. Is it overwhelming? Yeah, it's overwhelming. Does it mean that life gets easier for you? You still have those choices and decisions to make. You're just now more aware of what it's all about. Life only changes because now you're going to understand what's going on inside of you. You still are here to grow your soul. It just makes it a little bit easier because you understand to follow that internal guidance. You let inside of you dictate the direction that you take in your life outside of you. You make the choices and decisions on the outside of you. The outside doesn't dictate on what you feel on the inside. And that, my friends, is personal growth through awareness. Offering forgiveness to yourself and allowing it to happen to others. That's what makes everything work. You can't just forgive yourself and hold grudges against another person without there being a false belief built within yourself. It doesn't work. Because there's a judgment there with that negative feeling, and that negative feeling is the opportunity for you to learn something about yourself and through your experience with the outer world. True healing and true growth comes when you can find that balance, when you can find that peace and balance and that harmony. When you find that and you base all your decisions on that and you hold firm to who you are, my friend, magic happens. Magic. People talk about manifestation. I've had a very hard time with manifestation because, sometimes we've been hurt so much we just don't want to feel, right? You just don't want to feel because it's scary to feel. But we have to learn how to feel. We have to learn how to process those emotions. And then we have to learn to grow them. And even though we process them and we understand we've healed them, we can't just stuff them in a box and keep them safe, right? Because we're going to sit stagnant. We have to take those new feelings, those healed feelings and those experiences, and we have to move forward and learn more about ourselves, learn more about the world around us, to grow even deeper in our spirituality, to grow that relationship with our divine, to really understand why we're here. Why are we here? Because, my friends, there's humanity's, obviously, there's a lot going on, right? There's a lot going on in the world right now. We have 6 generations living on the planet. 6. It's a lot of people. A lot of individual people needing a lot of individual certain stuff, right? It's a lot of people. It's a lot of stuff. But when you can really hone in on what's going on in here and focus here, what goes on out there, you'll just be able to narrow your focus on the things that are most important for you. And you won't be so confused with all of the distractions and all of the flashy lights and such. You'll be able to really look at it, look at things from only in here. I truly hope that this video helps whoever it needs to help, because there's a lot more coming, and it's just time for humanity to really understand the reason behind our existence, right? Reason behind our existence. And we can't grow unless we heal. I hope you found this video helpful. If you have any questions, please feel free to put it in the comment section below. And I will see you next week. Oh, one more thing. On Tuesday mornings and Thursday afternoon, I will be holding master class. If you're interested, please click in the link and register for it. This master class is really about, find out who you are, who are you, and why are you here. And we talk a little bit about this process of forgiveness too. But trust me, it's worth it. It's worth it, because you're very important. You're very, very important to this world and to humanity as a whole. And it's worth taking the time to implement the forgiveness aspects into your individual healing, so that you open up to this divine guidance that's available to you. Because once you do, it gets easier. Life won't be as hard when this healing occurs. It's good. Thank you so much. I hope that you enjoy your weekend, and we will talk soon. Take care.